Hey everyone, GIP Erskine with Eversmarts, bringing you another GIP tip to give you ways to achieve high performance for property managers. In this video, we're going to cover prioritization. Now, in their book, The One Thing, which is a really cool book, Gary Keller and Jay Papasan give this model called the goal setting to the now. Goal setting to the now. And what it does is it takes these blue sky goals that you have and it narrows them down to the present moment. And so because of their singular focus, the one thing, just think about the someday goals that you have, ones that are way out that say, someday I want to achieve that. And then they say, okay, so if that's your someday goal, how are we going to bring that down to the now? So your someday then becomes, well, what's the one thing you can do in the next 5 years that will then satisfy that someday goal? And then from there, you say, okay, now that you have your one thing for the 5-year goals, what's the one thing that you can do this year that helps satisfy that 5-year goal? And then you bring that down. What's the one thing you can do this month to satisfy your 1-year goal? And you write that down. What's the one thing you can do this week that satisfies your monthly goal? And then what's the one thing you can do daily that satisfies your weekly goal? And then it goes one step further, and this is important. What's the one thing you can do right now? Right now, you got to take immediate action on the goals that you have. It's great to plan, it's great to look out into the future, but if you don't take immediate action, you won't get that energy. You won't get that momentum, you won't get that satisfaction from actually moving forward toward your goals. So prioritization is really starting with what is that thing that's way out there. Now, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you are a property manager and you already have your RPA designation and your someday goal is to run your own shop. You want to own or run your own property management company or division. That's your someday goal. Well, then your 5-year goal might be to manage a portfolio. So you've got enough experience and you oversee multiple teams so that you can be better equipped to run your own place, run your own shop. So your 1-year goal might be to earn your CPM designation. You're already an RPA, so you can take advantage of the fast track program and maybe skip over some of the courses. So your monthly goal could be complete whatever coursework is needed this year on an every other month basis. Your weekly goal could be to enroll to become a CPM candidate and enroll in IRM. And then your daily goal could be to complete the application. I mean, you're narrowing this thing down to the task-oriented, tactical, what is it that I can do today to do that? And so fill out the application. So where's the application? Well, the one thing I can do right now is to go online and go to IRM.org and get the application. And so all of a sudden, that entire funnel from that someday I want to run my own shop to today, I can just go online and start the process. And you can have multiple goals. That's just one for careers. So I urge you to take a look at that, but also take a look at your personal life. Take a look at your relational goals. Take a look at your spiritual goals. Take a look at your financial goals. A lot of them are all interrelated, I get that. But if you can look at those things, and I did a great activity of just writing down the 101 things that you want to be, do, have, and give to this world. Man, that's blue sky, and that's where you'd start. And from that exercise, I actually created, I didn't go 101, I've got about 85 goals until the age of 85. So I've got a long spreadsheet, I'll share it with you guys one day. That's more about goal setting. Back to prioritization. Now, that's great as far as your goals, but what happens when you show up in the office? You're at the building, you're at the property, and all kinds of stuff is happening your way. So what are your priorities for the day as a property manager? Well, the number one priority is life safety. If some condition is going to kill somebody, you've got to address that now. You drop everything to address a life safety need. Think risk avoidance. Anything that might end up hurting somebody should be addressed immediately. So that's number one. Number two, think leasing and marketing. If you can bring in top line revenue and rent, then that is your primary goal, and you need to be thinking value enhancement. So risk avoidance and value enhancement. Number three, the owner requests. The owner's requiring reports, and they have certain demands, and can you get this piece of information for me, and what about this lease term, and what about this particular notice provision, and all the critical dates and all those types of things. That's number three. But first you got to save lives, then you got to do everything you can to promote leasing and keep occupancy up, and then you apply then you focus on owner requests. The owner will understand both the number one and number two priorities that came before him. He will. Number four, tenant requests. Think customer service. You are in the customer service mode. You have more than just one customer. I get that. You have your owner, you have your tenants, you have your boss, you have your company, you have your team, you have your vendors. They're customers of yours. You do exchange of services for money. You have 10 to 12 if you think about it. You have the public, you have your city, you have all these different hoops you have to run through to be compliant. You have insurance companies, you have the tax department, you have all these customers that you have to spoon feed customer service. And then number five, everything else. So number one, life safety. Number two, leasing and marketing for value enhancement. Number three, owner requests. Think responsiveness. Number four, tenant requests. Think customer service. And number five, everything else. And how do you prioritize everything else? Well, you do it by what's urgent, what's important. Both of those things have to come up. If it's urgent and it's not important, you delegate it. If it's both urgent and important, you do that first. Then you switch gears and keep on going. But before you go into all of your stuff that happens to you during the day, it's important to visit that goal setting to the now. It's a great model, it's a great framework, and it helps you achieve your goals before your day even gets started. So think someday and funnel it all the way down to the now. This is GIP Erskine with EverSmarts, wishing you all the success you desire, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Don't forget, Master Your Calendar is coming out. It's opening up January 26th. Put it on your calendar now and join me in the upcoming webcast I'm going to be doing on January 26th and the last week in January, first week in February, because the course is going to start week 1 on February 6th. So I love you guys. Stay with me until the next GIP tip. I'll talk to you guys next week. GIP Erskine signing off. Take care.